Every company, in fact, every country has its own way of working, the way they treat their employees, their own rules and regulations because of cultural differences. And today that's what I'm going to cover. So if you are planning to move to the UK to start working or studying here, or maybe you're just curious about the differences in working cultures between India and the UK, this video is for you. Hi everyone, my name is Mehar. For those of you here for the first time, I'm a chartered accountant from India and an MBA from Imperial College London, and I make videos on all things related to careers, education, productivity and positivity to help you accelerate your career. So if you are here for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like and share this video. So if you are new here, you may not know that I am somebody who is a chartered accountant from India. I have lived and worked in New Delhi for about 5 to 6 years, and then I moved to London to pursue an MBA degree, and I have worked here for about 3 years now in startups as well as a medium-sized organization. So having been part of both the corporate cultures for quite a while, I have observed a few things that I wish I knew before I jumped into the corporate sector in the UK, because things are done a little bit different here. So if you are planning to find a job and start working here, or maybe you're just going to start studying here, these points will be very useful to you. So without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into the 8 things that I think are different between working in the UK and working in India. As we go along through this video, my friends, I will make sure to share my personal examples and experiences with you on how things were for me. So the very first thing that you need to keep in mind, my friends, the main difference is that punctuality in the UK is very important. If somebody gives you a time for 8 a.m., it means 8 a.m. Trains run right on time here. The tubes run on time, meetings are conducted and ended on time, workshops start on time, webinars start on time, everything is to the minute. If you are late by just a few minutes, you could miss that opportunity, or you could even be considered as somebody who is always late. So if you are planning to work here, please make sure that 8 a.m. means 8 a.m. It does not mean 8:05, it does not mean 8:15. It actually would be more recommended if you reach by 7:55 a.m. instead of even 8 a.m. When someone gives you their word, they will be right on time. I remember when I was interning during my MBA, I ended up reaching once at 9:08 instead of 9 a.m. and my boss greeted me with a good afternoon. Yes, that's also a British sense of humor. People are a little bit sarcastic here. He literally said to me, "Good afternoon," and then I was never late after that. I always reached 5 minutes before time. So my recommendation is, my friends, arrive early and don't be late. And that is the main difference in India. Sometimes we give each other a little bit more time because things run late. I'm not trying to say that's anybody's fault, it's just how things are done. But if you are planning to move here, my friends, this is the #1 advice I would give you. Please never be late. And the second difference that I noticed, my friends, is that in India, things are a little bit more hierarchical. That means structures and designations are very much set. You respect your seniors, you call them sir or ma'am, and that is the way things are run. But in the UK, most organizations are pretty flat, even though there may be some formal designations. People are easily approachable, people call each other by their first or last names. There is no sir or ma'am salutations that are used over here. So make sure to check with your seniors if you're planning to get a job in the UK, what they would like you to call them. Even calling somebody by the name of boss is not the norm. So no matter what the age of somebody, you always call them by the first name. Whether it's Mehar, Shashank, Jane or Sean, you will just call them by their first names, or maybe last names, depending upon what they are comfortable with. And the third difference, my friends, I notice is the importance that everybody gives in the UK to work-life balance and mental health. And especially during and after the pandemic, people realize that you have a life outside of work. Your career, your work is not your whole life. It's one part of your life. So if you have a priority, if you have a doctor's appointment, if you have to pick up your child from daycare, all these things need to be put into your calendar, and a lot of respect is given for your personal schedule as well. You can easily tell your boss that I am not available after 6 p.m. today. They will appreciate that you told them in advance, and you can always say that you'll pick it up early the next morning. And similarly, because of that, because work is just one part of your life, your mental health is important. And I noticed a lot of organizations have now started having mental health talks very openly to support employees that may be suffering but not talking about it. But also, that doesn't mean if there is a deadline that you say you won't work after 6 o'clock. The thing is that you will work so well and efficiently during your work day that you may not have to take work home that night. There are a lot of conversations happening about blocking out your lunch hours so that you have enough time to go for a walk, especially if you're working from home. Companies and employers recognize that this is important. So there are conversations that are happening. There is a recognition that weekends are for family, for your life outside of work. It's okay to have plans. It's okay to have a doctor's appointment. It's okay if you have some personal issues that you need to deal with. As long as you inform your boss on time, it is never a problem. And the fourth difference is connected with this third one, my friends, and that is sick day request. In India, I remember I used to struggle taking just a few days off even if my health was suffering. It seemed as if the whole company's weight was on my shoulders. But in the UK, they very much respect if you are unwell. They tell you to take it easy. They tell you not to worry, even if you tell them at the last minute, because we can fall sick at the last minute. They make sure that all your work is taken care of by them, handled by them, and nobody disturbs you during that sick day. And on top of this, you also get 28 days of leave, of holidays every year, and people are encouraged to take time off. They tell you, you have not taken enough time off, please take rest. You will not be productive if you don't take time off. Whereas in India, it is a little bit opposite. If you take too much time off, it is usually frowned upon. And sometimes I remember I was even working on festivals. And another thing I want to add, my friends, now people have even started encouraging you taking time off even for mental health. So physical health, of course, if you're feeling sick, but now companies are even encouraging their employees to take time off to take care and prioritize their mental health, which is a fantastic thing, and I think that's a change that needs to come into India as well very soon. And the fifth difference I noticed, my friends, that in general in the UK there is lesser racism and sexism. Now, I'm just speaking about my personal experience, right? Please don't get offended if you've dealt with different circumstances, but in my work experience here, I have never felt any type of racism or sexism in the workplace. What I mean by that is that there were never any judgments that were being taken place because I was a female or because I was brown. It was my own insecurities, my own imposter syndrome that was holding me back from shining bright. So I have never ever encountered any stereotypical replies or rude remarks or being discouraged to speak up in meetings. I think it's all in our hands. We have to remember that each person here is respected, and of course we're all struggling in our own way. But you also have the option to talk to your boss, your immediate senior in the UK, because they most likely would be very happy to help you with whatever you're struggling with. So in general, my friends, I have never ever had any sexist or racist comments made towards me. But again, that's my personal experience. If you disagree, please do share below, and I will try my best to respond to your comments and appreciate your feedback. I also noticed during the pandemic, there were a lot of issues that were happening around the world, and most organizations understood this and respected it and tried to take steps to make employees feel more welcomed, more safe in their work environment. So there were a lot of events that were taking place for Black Lives Matter, for Asians, for South Asians in particular. People are now trying to embrace other people's cultures, learn more about them, and that's the great part about being in the UK, because there are so many cultures that come together in this country, and each is proud of their own culture, their own identity. So if you are going to be working or studying in the UK, please don't be shy or afraid to speak up about your culture or how things are different back home. That's something that I didn't do too much of, my friends. So I really recommend that you do that. And my sixth point is sort of a carry on of this point that we just talked about, and that is that there is a lot of support around you in your work environment. There are your peers, your colleagues, or your seniors, or your boss's boss who would be willing to help you if you ask them for any support, if you ask them for any help. We Indians in particular keep it to ourselves. We shy away from asking for support, asking for help, because that's how we are mostly trained, right? Get the job done. We do whatever we can without asking any questions to make sure our boss is happy. But here, if you are struggling, if you need any type of support, there are people here to mentor you, to coach you, to help you with what you're struggling, and to make sure you achieve what you're trying to achieve. They want the best for you. They are your well-wishers. And I didn't understand this in the beginning, my friends. I kept it all to myself, and my seniors always kept asking me, how can they support me? How can they help me? And I'm not saying that, you should be asking too many questions or asking stupid questions. Although there is no such thing as a stupid question, one has to make sure that they do their homework, they show their competency, and then if there's a gap, one can reach out to their seniors and ask for additional help if they are struggling with something. And that brings me on to the 7th point, my friends, and that is, in general, there is a lot of respect for your individual privacy. Everybody respects that you have a life. You do not have to be overly friendly with someone. Everybody has their boundaries made for work versus having a life, right? The boundaries are very, very set. It's not overly friendly, trying to understand what's going on in your life or trying to be your best friend. There is a very, very clear and distinct line between the two. So people here don't pry, don't ask you too many questions, don't even want to know too much about your personal life unless you share it with them first. Whereas it can be a little bit opposite sometimes working in India, when people want to know what's going on with you, they want to be your best friends, they always want to have lunch with you, they want to chill with you. It's a very, very different environment where everyone here keeps to themselves unless and until, of course, one is going for after work drinks to chill at a pub. That's when one networks and socializes a lot. And because they keep to themselves, my friends, they get the work done. The office is way more quieter than in India. They are working on their desk. They may be even eating lunch on their desks because they're so dedicated about getting the job done in their 9 to 5, in their 9 to 6, and then going home on time. That work-life balance that we just talked about. And the last point is, my friends, that here so many connections are made through networking. People get to know each other through friends of friends, through ex-colleagues, through ex-bosses, through ex-companies, and they stay in touch. They go for networking events. They go and talk about what they've done, they talk about their experiences, they have a drink or a coffee with somebody at a pub, and a lot of connections and opportunities are found out through that. And I think networking as such is such an intimidating word in India where people get scared, but it's actually just about having a conversation and finding 1 or 2 common points with somebody to talk to them about something, because you never know how and where the opportunity comes from. And people here want to support each other. They want to help each other in the best possible manner that they can. And that's exactly what I taught in my recent workshop, where we talked about the importance of LinkedIn and using it to create opportunities for yourself and to stay in touch with people. If you have any more questions, you can reach out to me and sign up for a one-to-one mentorship session with me. So that's it, my friend. I'm going to wrap up the video here. I hope it was useful. I'm not trying to, be stereotypical. These are actually the points that I have observed through my work experience working in India and in the UK. So please, if you have any other experiences, do share them below. I would be more than happy to hear your thoughts. I'll be back soon with another one, but until then, keep working hard, keep smiling, and get ready to end 2021 with a bang. I hope to see you soon. Bye.